Pressure testing gas lines for leaks is the single most critical safety step before putting natural gas or liquefied petroleum propane into service, and doing it right prevents fires, explosions, and costly rework. Start by isolating the system and using a calibrated gauge that reads down to 2 inches of water column for low pressure lines. Attach the gauge at the highest accessible test point and pressurize with dry nitrogen to avoid introducing oxygen or moisture. Hold test pressure at the required value per code for the specified duration. Typically 1/2 pound per square inch for 2 hours for residential systems or as your local code specifies. And log start and end pressures with timestamps so you can demonstrate no pressure decay. When testing above 1/2 pound per square inch, install a pressure relief or regulator bypass so components are not damaged when restoring service. Use soap-free leak test solutions or an electronic combustible gas detector that is calibrated against a known concentration to sweep joints. For buried or concealed lines, use tracer gas with an acoustic leak correlator or vacuum box methods. Always cap or plug fittings with rated test caps and torque to manufacturer's specs. Use new thread sealant approved for fuel gas on threaded joints, and never rely on tape alone unless it is gas rated. If you detect any pressure drop, isolate sections using ball valves to binary search the leak location, repressurize, and test subsections until the leak is found, then replace fittings or rethread using proper die sizes. Record material, joint method, test pressure, test duration, and tester identification in the job file and forward a copy to the homeowner. This documentation is often required by inspectors and insurance. Before purging into service, perform a controlled, low-flow purge procedure with combustion air available and the appliance valves closed, except the one being purged. Follow the manufacturer purge sequence, and verify ambient gas concentration is below the lower explosive limit at all nearby ignition sources. One of the most common mistakes is underpressurizing during a leakage test, which shows no decay but misses slow leaks. Fix this by following code-required test pressures and durations, and using pressure gauges with appropriate resolution and calibration. One of the most frequent issues is using air instead of dry nitrogen, which creates corrosion and false positives with humidity. Fix this by using dry nitrogen or an inert tracer gas and drying the system before sealing. One of the biggest errors is poor documentation or missing test logs, causing failed inspections and liability exposure. Fix this by keeping detailed time-stamped records, photos of gauge connections, and signed test certificates that reference the code section used. BigHomeProjects.com lists vetted local contractors and collects project reviews, so homeowners can find qualified gas plumbing and HVAC professionals for pressure testing and gas line sizing. The directory also helps contractors get work by increasing local visibility and connecting them with homeowners who need certified leak testing, code-compliant installations, and ongoing support. For more resources on gas line sizing and leak testing, visit the AC Service Tech website. Check the linked videos in the episode description and use the referenced code book links for authoritative procedures and tables.